this is the last part, the last two keys, the last bit of key number 20 and key number 21 on how to become a sales superstar by Brian Tracy. Key number 20 is manage your territory well, and key number 21 is 7 secrets to sales success. This key 21 is like simply awesome. So just keep watching. So key number 20, manage your territory well. Now, this particular key is not relevant in general for most of our kind of activity. This is relevant to people who are doing in-person sales, and that too in-person sales where they have to travel within a city or within a certain geography. But it can become relevant to us in certain specific cases where, like earlier, it used to be all in person. Our entire business was happening in person. So there can be situations like this. So I'm going to run through this fast, but just keep these points at the back of your mind. It may be relevant at some point in future. So one important reason for poor sales, when there is a geography based, there is a physical movement of the sales manager or the person who's doing salesperson, is poor territory management. That is, I thought this is very, very logical when I looked at this set of points. But what I have realized is that in my own, the organic food venture that I am a part of, I have actually seen salespersons who do not plan their geography, and they have been, losing out time. So a typical example of what happens is the salesperson plans his day journey poorly. What happens? His first meeting is one end of the town. Second meeting is at another end of the town. And the third meeting is in the third part of the town. So in other words, he is spending most of his time just commuting from one place to another. So the suggestion is, and I mean, this seems very, very obvious, but people do not get it. And that's why there are many cases where salespersons have, poor sales just because of poor territory management. So depending on the geography, the accessibility to the place and the typical traffic conditions and all that, what they need to do is divide their geography into zones and quadrants. So just this one change by a salesperson can result in an increase in volume of even 20 to 50%, simply because instead of wasting their time in commuting, they are actually spending that time in face-to-face meeting with customers. Okay, so the suggestion is that either, when there is a commute involved, decide that just one zone, only one area, the work is going to take place. Or at least for half a day, it should be one area. Which means that when appointments are being made for the meeting itself, the clustering should happen by geography. It is not that last minute you say that I will go there and the appointment is not there. Appointments are scattered, it will not work. So therefore, when making appointments itself, same geography meeting should be all on the same day. And the result is that commuting time is significantly reduced. And that loss of commute time or reduction of commute time is shifted into significant increase in the number of minutes spent in the most important of tasks. And what is the most important of tasks for any sales activity? Prospecting, presenting, following up. In this, one is able to spend much more amount of time. As we have seen in various of the previous keys, just increasing the time spent on prospecting, presenting, and following up will make a heaven and earth difference. And therefore, as we said earlier also, managing time is important. And in this case also, it's a slightly different situation of managing time. So what is important to remember is this, that actually the only thing we actually have to sell is our time. Okay, your time is all that you are selling. See, even if somebody is in a job, what are they doing? They are trading their time for money. Okay, in a sales job, you're trading your time in the process and creating sales. In the process, you're increasing your income. So your time is all that you have to sell. And remember that nobody is going to pay you for driving around. And we can look at it from our context also, that we may do all kinds of things, but at the end of the day, if the selling process, which is prospecting, presentation, and following up, if this series of steps is not happening, sales will not happen. And if that does not happen, nobody is going to pay us, whatever else you may have done. This is, part of what Brian Tracy said in this series itself. All your time is all that you have to sell, and nobody is going to pay you just for driving around. Right. Now to the final and the most exciting key. I found this like really, really inspiring, and I hope you will also find it inspiring. 7 secrets to sales success. Let's look at what are these 7 secrets. Secret number 1, get serious. I mean, I don't know how to emphasize this any better than what he said. Just get serious. Make a decision today that you will go all the way to the top of our business. That is a decision, inner decision you have to take, that I am going to, today I'm deciding, I'm going to go all the way to the top. I am going to go all the way up and join the top 10% in our business. Make a decision. That's what it means by getting serious. Like Eric Worre says, take a decision. Just that, it's like a unwavering decision. Take that decision saying that I'm going to make it happen. Remember that just this one decision can change your life. Okay, secret number 2, identify your limiting skills to sales success. What are those skills that are limiting you from achieving the sales success? See, we've seen this earlier, again, I'm repeating it. What tends to happen is that whichever is your weakest skill, because it is also an area of discomfort, because it is a weak skill, it's also an area of discomfort, the tendency is to avoid it. And the more you avoid it, the more it is going to impact the entire process. So identify your weakest skill and make a plan to become excellent in that area. You have to, and it's a commitment that you have to make. Think that I am going to identify what is my weak area and I am going to make myself excellent in that area. This one single decision can transform the career. Okay, now let's look at, in the context of our network marketing, what are the 7 skills that are involved. First is finding prospects, that is finding people to talk to. That is, we have this process of making the list, the name list. So finding prospects. Second is invitation, inviting the prospect to a presentation. So now see, remember that there are 2 aspects to our business, and we are going to discuss it slightly later. Both aspects are equally important and equally rewarding. At least going forward, it is equally rewarding. So just creating sales, that means if you focus only on sales also, it can make a very, very big difference. That is, whether if you don't focus on team building, but just focus on sales. So even for having the sale, you have to fix a time with your the person you want to talk to, identify them, invite them, and either have them talk to somebody, or you have to discuss with them what is this product that we have. So you're inviting your prospect to look at the product and the opportunity. Third is the presentation. Now this presentation may be a presentation like this. It could be an in-person presentation. It could be over a call, whichever way it is. Okay, for a product, typically we are doing it over a call. That is good enough. Whichever way it is, that presentation step has to happen. Okay, letting them know in the best possible way what is it that we are offering. That is the presentation. So whichever, in your opinion, is the best possible way that you want to let them know, do that, and that is the presentation. After the presentation, there is a closing call. There is a certain follow-up process that we do. That we look at whether there are any questions they have, whether are there any doubts, helping them make a decision. And after that, there is a follow-up process. Remember, we spoke about it earlier. Those who are in sales will know this very well. It takes a minimum of 4 to 6 exposures. That means exposures can be, you're sending them a video, or they are seeing a flyer, or they are seeing a testimonial, or just a reminder. Say 4 to 6 exposures for anyone to take a decision. Or they are just seeing it as they are, watching YouTube, one of these videos pops up, anything like that. Or, as they're driving on the road, there is a billboard, or in the newspaper, there is an ad. There are, for any product, for anything, 4 to 6 exposures are the minimum. For some people, it happens in less, some people, it happens more. In fact, research says that it is anything from 4 to some 11 or 12. So an average, we say, is about 5 to 7, right? So a follow-up of 4 to 6 times will help anyone take a decision. Once they have taken the decision, whichever way, helping them get started. If it is the business, helping them getting started with the business. If it is the product use, helping them get started with the product use. And in our business, there is this thing about promoting events. So this promoting events is particularly when we have a team and we are, creating a whole, you're the leader and you're creating a whole team. This promoting events is the single most impactful support that is going to help you grow. Now, all these events are online. So it can't be easier than this. Earlier, it used to be physical meetings. You actually go to a place and attend, right? Now, everything is online, or almost all of it is online. So it can't be easier than this. So what I'm saying is, secret number 2, identify your limiting skills to sales success. What are the skills where you are getting held up? What is holding you back? Look at how you are going to empower yourself with that skill. How to empower yourself? Eric Worre has got a series of videos, one video for every skill. There is a one series of videos which are 15 minutes spent on each skill. There is another series of videos, there is 1 hour spent on each skill. There is a third series of videos where there is 3 hours spent on a single skill. For example, there is a one whole 3-hour session which is on just finding prospects. So depending on the depth that you want to get into, there is content available. Okay, so please look for content this way, that way. You want to read up something else, watch something else, perfectly fine. Look at how you are going to improve your skill. Very, very, very important. Next, get around the right people. The company you keep is going to make a very, very big difference. Okay, so keep yourself around positive and successful people. So, as the saying goes, you cannot fly with eagles if you continue to scratch with the turkeys. Right? So, if you want to fly with the eagles, you can't keep hanging around with the turkeys. Right? So, keep yourself around positive and successful people. That is again a decision, conscious decision you have to make. Why does that happen? Here is why. This is something that Jim Rohn, who's also, another very, very powerful, he's an author and he's a very powerful speaker. What he said is this: we are the average of the 5 people whom we spend most of our time with. If you want to know what kind of a person you are, look at the 5 people. Just identify who are the 5 people in your life. I'm not talking about family, I'm saying outside family. The 5 people in your life whom you're spending most of your time with, how they are is how you will be. So, conversely, if you want to change yourself, just change these 5 people whom you're hanging around with. That's why we are saying get around the right people. Keep yourself around positive and successful people. If you really want to grow, you need to do this. Secret number 3. Next, secret number 4. Take excellent care of your physical health. This is not just with respect to sales, it's with respect to every aspect of your life. You really want to lead a meaningful and you want a happy life. Health is a very, very important aspect. So what what must you do to take care of your health? 1, eat the right kind of right kind of food and the right quantity of food. Second, get the right amount of exercise. Exercising is very, very important. At the very least, please ensure you are going for a good enough long walk. And third, get proper rest and recreation. There is huge amount of documentation where they are saying that insufficient sleep can make a very, very big difference in the your entire mental makeup, and therefore your productivity. It's a cascading effect. So take care of your physical health. Key number 4, secret number 4. And basic thing is, you just take a decision. You're resolving whatever happens, I am going to live up to the age of 80. Okay, and begin today to achieve that goal. Start today and do whatever it takes to ensure that you live up to the age of 80. Next, key number 5. Visualize yourself as the top in this field. We have done so many sessions on visualization. I would invite you to go back to the previous series on how to improve your personal abilities, the previous series of Brian Tracy. See yourself performing at your best all day long. Just visualize yourself that whatever you are doing, whatever what is it that's important for you, whatever you want to achieve, See that it is happening in the best possible way. Just visualize it. This process itself of proper visualization can have a tremendous impact on your self-image and your self-esteem. Okay. Part of that, it's an extension. Secret number 6 is continuous positive self-talk. The inner dialogue that is continuously going on in our mind. Okay. That inner dialogue, you have to consciously see what is that inner dialogue and consciously change that dialogue. Control your inner dialogue. Talk to yourself in the way that you want to be, rather than today you may be in whatever way. It could be your health, it could be your financial situation, whatever it is. It may not be exactly the way you would like it, but when you are reinforcing it to yourself, you reinforce it on the way you want it to be. Do not focus on what you do not want. The natural tendency of our mind is to focus on what we don't want. Consciously, you have to move your mind away and focus on what you want. Please, I'm telling you this I cannot, I don't know how to emphasize it any better than this. One of our you know distributors in our team, sometime back he sent me a message. Some of you will recollect that we have gone through this process of positive reinforcement. There is a certain series, it's like a meditation process that we have gone through. Those of you who do not have this, you can message me and I will send you the audio and you can actually use it daily. Okay. Now, this person, he actually used it continuously and he has managed to correct his weight using this. Okay. I was so happy to read that message, and he was so profusely thankful, saying that because otherwise the whole thing was just out of his control. Okay. Because there were some other, psychological challenges. There were some other issues that he's going through. So using this, he's been able to correct it. Okay. So I was so happy to hear it. So I'm saying the power of our subconscious mind is way, way beyond what we can even remotely imagine. So therefore, having the right kind of conversation with ourselves will make a very, very big difference. So use positive affirmations like, I like myself. I am the best. I can do it. I love my work. You know that positive affirmation that audio clip, that audio process, it's a 20-minute process. It's very, very powerful. Okay. So I invite all of you, those of you who do not have it, do not have access to it, please send me a message and I will share it with you and please start using it. So use positive affirmations on a daily basis to yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. There is a, okay. So part of this continuous positive self-talk. Remember that 95% of your emotions are determined by the way you talk to yourself most of the time. Okay. Your emotions are getting determined by that, right? And what we are trying to do, so just see this, image. This is interesting. How you feel will lead to how you behave. And how you behave will in turn lead to how you feel. This is like a, you can call it a loop, you can call it like a treadmill. Okay. But the choice is this, that if you keep changing how you feel through changing the way you're talking to yourself, your inner dialogue, then the how you feel starts becoming better. When the how you feel starts becoming better, how you behave starts happening better. When your how you behave starts happening better, you start feeling better. So in other words, you are in an upward moving spiral. So your job is to get yourself into an upward spiral rather than in a downward spiral, right? So think and talk positive all day long. This is something that you have to consciously do. What will happen? If you do think and talk positive all day long, then you will think, walk, talk, and act like the best people in the field. The best people, the most successful people in the field have this innate attitude that they will always look at what is possible, look at what to do next, look at how to take responsibility. If you do that, success is inevitable. Next, secret number 7, the final secret. take positive action towards your goal. We've seen earlier the importance of goals. We've seen how to set goals. We've seen what is the difference between a dream and a goal. All that we have seen in the past, right? So I create goals and you have to take positive action. So in other words, what we are saying is focus on moving towards your goals on a day-to-day basis. And if that has to happen, you have to be proactive and not rather than reactive. What does that mean? They say, grab the bull by the horns. If you see that there is a problem, if you are not happy with your income, for example, right? Just get out there and get talking to more customers and just ensure that your income increases. That's it, right? If you are not happy with any part of your life, whatever it may be, accept responsibility and take charge and do what is required. That's what we mean by grab the bull by the horns. In other words, that's what we mean by be proactive rather than reactive. Okay, take control of your life. This is one step to how to focus towards what you want and move towards your goals on a day-to-day basis. All successful salespersons are, you look at the qualities, just look at it one by one, okay? All successful salespersons are intensely action-oriented. They have a sense of urgency. They will not say, okay, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, we'll see. No, they have a sense of urgency. They have a bias towards taking action, okay? And they will want to do it now rather than tomorrow, now rather than in the evening. They want to do it just now, okay? Next, they have a compulsion to closure. They don't want to leave things open-ended. Acha, the discussion has happened, but okay, we will see, we will leave it and postpone. No, they are moving towards, they are consciously, they want to have a closure on every open case. And they move quickly in everything that they do. And as they are doing, so should you. Why? Here's the good news. Just watch this carefully. The faster you move, the more energy you will have. And the faster you move, the more ground you will cover. The faster you move, the more people you will meet. When we are saying people, more prospects, the more leads that you will meet. And therefore, the consequence is, when you are doing this, the more people you are meeting, the more experience you are getting. There will be more failures along the journey, the more experience you will get. And also, more sales will happen. Therefore, the more people you meet, more sales will happen. And when you get more experience and when you get more sales, your self-esteem and self-respect will go up. And when your self-esteem and self-respect goes up, and when you're more experience, more sales need to make you feel like a winner. And the result is more energy you will have. Okay. So the end result is you will feel more happier and more positive. And when you are more happier and more positive, this loop will start again. So just think, just remember, the faster you move, when you start taking action quickly, this whole thing works as a cascading effect. That means it's like, again, we spoke about the upward spinning spiral. This is an upward spinning spiral, and that's what will happen. So remember, look at, they say, if you have clearly remember what you've said about failure, in any successful person's life, there is huge amount of failures. Okay. So the trick is this, how to fail faster. The faster you fail, the faster you're moving towards your success. Okay. So that's why this fast moving is a very, very, very important thing. The faster you move, the more you take complete control of your entire life. That's the implication. It virtually guarantees that you will be one of the top performers and you will be one of the highest paid people in our industry by possibility. Just remember this, that this one step of just moving fast will result that your complete life, you will take charge of. Your entire life will get transformed. Okay. I want you to just take this with you. Today's key thing, I want to take this with you, that just focus yourself on how to move faster, right? So basically, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines which are practiced every day. We have looked at all those various disciplines that we have, in the so many weeks and months we have seen it. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. This is again something that Jim Rohn has said. Okay, so to wrap up this whole series, high performance selling. Brian Tracy, when he started his life and career, in one of the earlier sessions, I've spoken about Brian Tracy's initial younger years. He started with absolutely no advantages, no benefits. He has done the most menial of jobs. And he says, I bless the day that I got into sales, because this field of sales has offered him, and so will it offer you, all the great joys, benefits, and possibilities in life. This one aspect of sales. Okay, the better you get at selling, the more important you become, not just to the company Indus Viva. To Indus Viva, you will become a very important person. To the community, you will become important, and to your own world. And your own world includes your family, includes everything else in your world. You will become important. The better you get at selling, there is more. Salespersons are among the most important of people. Why? Every single company, you take any business across the globe, every single company depends for its survival on the success of its salesperson. Any business will run only when whatever they are producing is getting sold to whoever is the customer. So the success of the salesperson is fundamental to the success of every company. High sales is the number one reason for any company's success. And conversely, low sales is the number one reason for any company's failure. Okay, so that's the importance of sales. And remember that you are in the driver's seat. In the company's thing also, the salesperson is the most important person. So you are in the driver's seat. So just remember this. Remember that the law of cause and effect is working. What is this law of cause and effect? It's like an iron law of human destiny. Whether you like it or don't like it, it's working. What is it? Anything that anyone else has done, you can do it as well. All you need to do, what do you need to do? Find out what it is that they have done and do it over and over again yourself, and you will also get to the same point. That's what we mean when we say that this law of cause and effect. If you can identify the cause, then go through that cause and the effect will follow. So remember, no one is better or smarter than you. They have simply learned this 21 ways to become great sales superstar. That's all they have done, right? And then they have learned it. This is where the key is. After you learn it, you don't just leave it and go, you practice it on a day-to-day basis. Only when whatever we have spoken about in so many weeks and months is applied, will it make any difference to your life. Otherwise, it will make no difference. You're getting inspired and you're walking away. Tomorrow, your life will remain the same. Okay? So please remember that you have to make it happen in your life. You have to implement it. When you begin to practice these 21 ways, you will begin to see results almost immediately. So I want to close with a few quotes, very beautiful quotes. Brian Tracy's quotes. I'm a great fan of Brian Tracy, as you can see. Luck is predictable. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Just think of it. Successful people launch, they start, they just do it. Unsuccessful people will keep creating excuses of about why this didn't happen. They will complain, excuse. This is what unsuccessful people do. If you really want to be successful, just get going and look at what to do about things rather than complain about why something is not working. The key to success is to focus our conscious mind on things that we desire, not on what you fear. And remember, there are no limits on what you can achieve with your life, except the limits that you accept in your mind. Please understand that the power of this mind, the power of the subconscious mind is so huge that if you do not set the limits yourself consciously, if you create, just widen the scope of it, you will find that results will happen, because that's the power of the mind. There are no limits to what you can achieve in your life except the limits that you accept in your mind. And this is the last thing I want to leave you with. Dream big dreams. Only big dreams have the power to move your mind and spirit. Just remember this. Don't just, right now you feel that, oh, this is all I'm capable of. You or whichever, wherever you're having a lack of skill, because of that, you're not dreaming big. Because if you dream big, what will happen? Oh, you can't achieve that dream, there will be failure. Failure is a stepping stone to success. In sales, the more failures you have, the faster you will succeed. So please dream big and convert your dreams into goals, and convert your goals into plans and execute your plan. So that's the conclusion of this series. Thank you very much.